Anyway, we received an email. Sabi niya, "Hi. As I was scrolling through my feed and as an avid podcast listener, I came across your first episode. I found it very interesting and ended up finishing it. You mentioned not pursuing your degree even though you're licensed, which struck a chord with me. I'm currently teaching and I'm also a licensed educator. However, I've considered not continuing on this path myself. I just want to try it out for about 1 to 2 years. My question is, how did you decide to change your career path despite being licensed? I understand that if you don't teach for 5 years, your license will become invalid. Why does it seem easier for you to make that shift? Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Looking forward to hearing from you at your next episodes. Best, Ray." First and foremost, gusto kong mag-thank you kasi natapos mo yung first episode. Like, yeah, thank you. But it might seem easier for me to show you that I shifted from that career path. Ang akin kasi, I took the license, talagang nag-exam ako, I graduated all because I wanted that backup. Gusto ko talaga nung backup, nung feeling of security that I can always have something to fall back on. It's very important to have that sense of security kasi iba kapag meron ka nun. And having a PRC license is a big deal. Huge deal talaga siya. Hindi siya easier. Easier siya tignan. Pero, I guess, talagang you have to be smart about it. You have to be smart about this kind of decision if you're gonna want to make the shift. You have to leverage your knowledge, your skills, everything you have learned. Like literally everything, even yung pag encode ng grades, the programs that you use, you have to leverage that. Kasi if not, mahihirapan ka to make the shift. You have to acknowledge kung ano yung mga nakuha mo doon. Hindi lang basta-basta pagtuturo. Aminin na natin, marami natututunan sa pagtuturo. Classroom management, behavioral problems, lahat yan pwede mo dalhin sa iba't ibang professions that you will choose. For example, I tried applying for cabin crew position sa mga airlines internationally and here in the Philippines. Hindi lang ako pumapasa kasi meron nga akong tattoo. Ayan o. Medyo malabo na siya, pero sana mawala na yan para makapag-apply na talaga ako, diba? Kasi sinasabi ko na, especially customer service, kapag dating sa airlines, sinasabi ko sa kanila na I'm a trained educator and we all know that if you are a trained educator, you handle everything from classroom management to actually talking to your students if they are rowdy, and if there are passengers like that, I would try to apply my knowledge as a teacher, my patience and all that. Yung mga ganong bagay, you have to sell yourself hard sa mga hiring managers kasi lalo-lalo na kapag nakita nila sa resume mo na okay, 2 years teaching ka na, oh my god, bakit ka pa lilipat, 'di ba? So may mga ganon, you have to sell yourself hard. I make it look easy pero it's not. You will think long and hard, anxiety level hard on what you're about to do next, but it's always gonna be a leap of faith because you don't know if you're gonna fall into the greener pasture or if you're gonna fall somewhere you don't even want to be in. So saying this, you have to sell yourself hard. Lalong-lalo na yung resume mo. If you're looking for more money, for example, you want to enter the virtual world of the virtual assistantship, sell yourself hard. Kaya mo yan, may experience ka na. Yun yung sinasabi ko sa previous episode, na kung meron ka ng skills you learned from being in the real world, you can sell yourself yung skills mo pagdating sa mga bagay na gusto mong gawin. Marami akong kilala na nag-online na lang din talaga. Yun yung isa sa mga worlds na pinapasok ko ngayon, and having skills from the real world and you're taking it talaga with you, kailangan mo i-acknowledge kung ano yung mga natutunan mo doon na pwede mo i-apply sa next profession na gusto mong gawin. I was just lucky na nabigyan ako ng provision na nung fourth year ko sa college, meron na akong TikTok income. So, I took a break from that. Nag-focus ako sa TikTok ko, ginrow ko yung TikTok ko. Ang layo ko na ngayon actually sa field of teaching. I'm not even remotely there anymore, even if I just passed the board exam noong September. Right, be? Parang wala na ako sa world of teaching talaga. Wala na ako talaga kasi right now parang first job ko was sales. And then when I'm doing TikTok, I'm doing marketing, affiliate marketing. And then sometimes collaborations with brands. iba na yung world ko. Ito na yung world ko. Even if, parang at the back of my mind, actually siguro 80% pa nga ng utak ko nandun pa rin ako eh. Lahat ng natutunan ko, lahat ng values of being a social science teacher, nasa akin pa rin. Naaalala ko pa din lahat. So, I know it's not gonna be easy for you. I'm just here to reaffirm you that kaya mo. Ako, nandito ako sa bahay doing all this online things. And not a lot of jobs are gonna credit this. But I have to sell myself hard. Yun yung kailangan nating gawin talaga. Yun yung nagawa ko that worked for me. And I hope it works for you. Hi everyone! Welcome to Bea's Musings. So this is the second episode na ng ating podcast and this time meron na tayong pamic, yes. And bukod sa pamic na bago, nag-invite ako ng special guest sa ating theme ng episode for this week. Kasi I feel like wala na ako masyadong experience when it comes to career or employment in general kasi I went straight to TikTok, so gusto kong marinig yung mga input niya sa mga entries na sinubmit nyo sa amin. So let's go. Introducing my first guest. Well, first ever guest, Mr. Bay. Mag-hi ka na.
Hello, I'm Mr. Bay. Okay, my name is Carl, and I work as a multifunctional operations manager for companies in the US and in Australia.
A multifunctional operations
Mhm.
manager for companies in the US. Oh, basically you're Jack.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, Jack, master of all trades. Ay, ano yun, tama ba?
Jack of all trades, yeah.
Jack of all trades. Yeah. So, marami siyang ginagawa. I see that every day. Sobrang busy niya. There was a time he works 20 hours a day. And then he sleeps 2 hours each half of the day to work. I see that every day. Kasi, grabe, sobrang workaholic talaga. Like, kung merong epitome ng workaholic, this Taurus guy, it is. So, talagang very, dumating siya sa point na gano'n. Do you really just like your job? Working? That's
Yeah,
why you...
I enjoy working. Definitely have fun doing what I do. And just really grateful for the opportunity that I have. So, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I work for a long number of hours every day.
Okay lang ba tanongin ko sa'yo kung ilang digits yung sahod mo? Kung bakit na-afford mo yung ganito kagandang asawa?
I'd have to talk to my accountant.
Siguro what we all want to hear kasi merong misalignment or mismatch when it comes to college courses to your actual
Yep.
employment. So,
Mhm.
is it aligned from what you learned from school or yung program mo from college?
No, not really. Kasi I was studying something na was supposed to direct me to the med field, but since college was kind of expensive, especially as a working student, kasi I decided to just hop onto a career path that would make me a lot of money right away. Well, I didn't make a lot of money right away, but there definitely was a lot of growth that came along with the career opportunity. So there's that.
What year ka ba nag-college?
It was pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
2019.
Mhm.
And then, naabutan ka na ng pandemic
Yep, and then I
doing...
stopped. Yeah.
Okay. So, ang hirap naman talaga kasi like me, I studied sa PNU, sa public university, and I know it was hard, but talagang pinush kasi ako to do that, which I'm grateful. But I know it was hard for a lot of people kasi at the time, we were parang we were fighting for parang a break, lalong-lalo na sa mga working students kasi pre-pandemic was hard or during yung, alam niyo yung pa-March na that year, 2020, January to March, it was the hardest months, right?
Mhm.
So, ang dami ko ring classmates na working students. So, they were barely making ends meet. Tapos, marami pang restrictions and all that. I get where you're coming from. And I love na you took the chance. You grab it by its truth. Are you glad? Are you happy with it?
I guess I can say that I've always been a risk taker, because I feel like there's no point in just staying where you are, especially if you're not satisfied. Because if you want something different, then you have to do something differently, diba? It doesn't make sense to just keep doing what you're doing if you want things to change. So,
That's true. You can't stay stagnant sa isang place and then just keep on wishing for something to happen for you.
Mhm.
Kasi definitely, I met some people like that before. No shade to them. Hindi sila the same people eh. We all have different phases in life. By the way, hindi ko po siya sinama sa camera kasi very camera shy po yung asawa ko. Mapapansin niyo sa mga post ko, sa pictures lang po siya nagpapakita. Kaya sa mga videos ko talaga, boses lang siya. Pero sexy, di ba? Do you think there's something you learned from college or life in general na natutunan mo and hindi mo siya malimutan? Sinabi ba niya ng teacher sa'yo, ng mentor mo? Hindi mo siya malimutan, like until now, ginagawa mo siya, ina-apply mo siya sa work, sa life, sa marriage. May ganun ka ba?
I don't know if it's from a mentor or someone I've interacted with. Probably from video games. Kasi when you play video games, losing is never fun, diba? So it's always been the kind of person was very, I guess, focused. Na you just like give your best. Like no
Yeah.
matter what happens, it doesn't really matter if you win or you lose, as long as you do your best.
You gave your everything.
So as long as you give in, or as long as you put in the effort needed, I guess that's the most important thing.
And mind you guys, he's talking about video games. I've seen him like in the first year of living together kasi we lived together agad eh after getting together. Gulat ako, oh my God, sobrang competitive niya sa video games. What do you play?
A few games. I played Dota 2, I play Valorant, I play a few other games.
Like, isa siya yung, alam niyo yung mga nalaro niya na siguro halos lahat ng video games na nilabas noong 2000s.
I don't think so.
Not really.
No, not
But
really.
yung pa-rise na video games, yun yung mga nalaro mo.
Mhm.
Like Dota. There was this time, syempre maliit lang naman yung condo namin. I mean, it's an ample space for us. Pero rinig mo siya eh, kasi yung office niya nasa sala namin. Tapos, may nagagalit, oh my God, nagagalit sila. Ganyan, nagagalit silang lahat. Tapos sabi niya, ano yung sabi mo doon that time? Kwento mo nga ano nangyari doon? Yung nag-away kayo kasi parang natalo kayo or something, or parang may teammate ka na hindi masyadong ginalingan.
Hindi. It's not a matter of hindi ginalingan or natalo. It was more of, kasi ano siya skill level wise, I'm usually above yung friends ko. It could probably be because I just play more, or maybe I'm just like better skill wise. But the thing is kasi when you do things with people, like team sports, for example, you play basketball or you play video games, 5v5, 3v3, it's a team effort eh.
Mm.
And then like when you have a teammate who just doesn't want to play well, or just to play, or just to put in the effort, I guess. If you have a teammate who doesn't want to put in the effort,
Ikaw all in ka.
and you're trying it, yeah. Kasi some people say that you're trying hard, but even if you're not doing your best, you're still putting in a conscious effort
To do it.
to do well.
To do well.
And then you have a teammate na messing around, not giving a
Zero.
care about the world.
Zero Fs.
Yeah, it's just sometimes
Hindi kayo pareho ng
frustrating.
wavelength.
And it's just frustrating kasi I feel like they're just wasting your time. They're
Mm.
wasting your effort.
And this was the time na you were trying to get into the leaderboard.
I think I was like top 550
In Asia?
sa Asia Pacific at that moment. Yeah. At
What
the
game?
time.
Valorant?
Yeah, sa Valorant.
Ang nalala ko na sinabi niya nun, bakit ka pa maglalaro kung di mo naman gagalingan? And isa yun sa mga natutunan ko kay Mr. Bay, kay Carl. Kasi everything that you do, you have to do it all out. You have to do it with much commitment. Kaya, yun yung mga natutunan ko sa kanya na hindi ka pipili ng mga bagay na ito kasi parang, okay lang yan na ganito na. Yung okay na yan mindset. Okay na yan. Yung trending ngayon. Okay na yan. Okay na to. Ganun. Wala siya nun. And he's talking about video games. And even when he plays basketball or when you play...
Disclaimer, I'm not good.
Nakikita ko siya sa baba. In everything that he does, he's not even a professional player, pero meron siyang taga-rebound na binabayaran every morning sa court namin dito sa condo. Just to be good or just to be active. And he wants to do that. Isa sa mga natutunan ko talaga sa kanya na like this, content creation, I've always said this and I'm glad he's here to actually rebut na ikaw yung actually nag-push sa akin, gawin mo lang. Right? Why were you always like that? Gawin mo lang. But hindi. Like, even my tiniest ideas, parang sabi ko, magnegosyo kaya ako ng ganito. But hindi! Bakit ganun yung mindset mo?
I mean, you just have to weigh, you just have to weigh the pros and the cons naman like of everything you do. So if you have an idea in mind na you want to push, bakit hindi, di ba? Like, why not? Some people would say na baka lack of this, lack of that. But if you can do it with minimal funds, for example, or like minimal effort, or not minimal effort, but just minimal time out of your schedule, kasi I understand that most of us are either working or going to school. So like wala naman, hindi naman lahat ng tao
Full time.
have the privilege of just focusing on one thing without worrying about life kasi you have responsibilities, diba? So just do it. If hindi ka naman makukulong, if hindi ka naman makakasakit ng
Kundi
tao.
illegal.
Yeah, you kind of get my point.
Yes, okay. On that note, kasi actually, I'm asking him these things. What did he, ano yung natutunan niya in life? Where did you learn this?
I don't know, out in the streets siguro.
Out in the streets.
Yeah.
So, batang kalsada ka?
Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
Okay. Magkaiba kasi kami ni Mr. Bay eh. Ako talaga, I was the sheltered kid. You can say that. I was the sheltered kid na umabot sa point na talagang school bahay. Hindi siya like very strict na parents. Parang naging routine na siya na alam mong magagalit eh. Alam mo magagalit yung nanay mo. So, uwi ka. So, ako, yung mga natutunan ko, not out in the streets. Kasi I'm not really allowed. So, ako naman, meron kasi nag-reply sa isang entry, isang question ko sa Instagram. Sabi niya, huwag magpaka-introvert dahil very helpful ang connections after college. Ito isa sa mga regrets ko. My first job after college was a sales job. It was a sales job but also in a school. Doon sa application nung school na yon, while I was applying, like, hire na ako, ganyan, they need a reference or recommendation letter from the dean of the school. Di ako kilala nung dean ng school. Hindi ako kilala. Kasi nung college ako, I really took it upon me na low profile, manahimik lang ako, mag-aral lang ako, and that's about it. Kasi yun lang din yung sinabi sa akin ng mama ko, mag-aral ka lang. Actually, hindi, discouraged ako mag-org kasi baka daw makasagabal sa pag-aaral. But I guess that was wrong. Kasi that's where you meet the best people. First, the fun, the memories, and all that. May mga bagay naman na hindi ko sinunod, tulad niya nag-swimming varsity team ako, nag-pageants ako. So, there I met a few people, pero yung lasting connection kasi, wala. So, hindi ako lalanon din. Nahirapan ako. Like, nagtanong pa ako sa classmates ko, tingin nyo ba magbibigay siya ng recommendation letter sa akin? Kasi, hindi nga niya ako kilala. Buti na lang, mabait yung din namin. Oh my God. Shoutout sa'yo, Doc Zai. Bait mo. Kasi, nagpasa siya ng recommendation letter and I got hired. Kahit na sales position siya. Ang hirap talaga nito. What can you say about this? Kasi, kami ng husband ko, kami ni Mr. B, we always talked about connections. Iba kasi kapag may kilala ka. Diba?
True. That's true. I agree. It's not illegal, but it's kind of frowned upon, diba? Like, usually,
To some people.
like, to some people, they say na, si ganito, may connections kasi ka
Nepotism.
nagkaroon ng opportunities. But then at the same time, kasi if you think about it, those people with connections, they're from the same circle. Circle. Usually, pag same circle naman, like, either they're from the same colleges, from families na are doing well in life, which would normally mean na may magandang values yung bata, for example, if sa college or high school, college level, di ba? This doesn't apply to everyone, but if you're from a better, or if you're from a known or a prominent family, it's more likely na you have values and skills na applicable to the real world. Kasi that's just how it is. That's how the world works.
Like, parang ano, if you're the boss's daughter, you get more experience kasi.
Yeah, kasi you get exposed to the real world from an early age.
Yeah.
Kasi, I studied sa public school, elementary, high school. The difference between me and people that studied in, like the bigger schools is that, what are you doing?
Because they can't see you, so I'm showing them your face. This is him.
Like, the main difference lang is that, someone, let's say, in his second or third year of high school sa public school would not have the same level of experience or exposure as someone na went to, say, I don't know, LaSalle or Ateneo, kasi their family has like a business, for example.
Yes.
So most of those people would be exposed to like how
everything works,
the operations of like the business works,
yes,
at an early age, compared to, like, for example, if you're not from one of those bigger schools and you're just like studying sa public school, ang first exposure mo sa actual employment or actual job opportunity would be when you get employed after college or after high school. So like that by itself, say, I'm not sure kung anong year na ngayon at ilang taon na mga students when they graduate high school. But say like
17.
let's say 17. Okay,
I
let's say
graduate
17.
18.
Let's say 17. Um, so if you get exposed or you finish, if you finish high school ng 17, and then you start going to college, you finish college in 21 after 4 years, and then you get your first exposure, yung first time mo ma-expose after college sa quote-unquote real world, is what they call it. Then that's gonna be the first time. Since that's your first time, you're kind of a baby pa to the real world. If you get
You're still the
exposed
puppy.
na right away when you're like in high school at 15, 16, 17, then by age 21 you already have 4 years of experience, even though hindi siya specialized. Like that's a lot of time.
For him, it's a lot of time. Sometimes I try to remind my husband where we came from, but I can't really blame him because he was around the aristocrats kind of a long time before he met me. So I
What's with
get
the
where he's
accent
coming.
change?
Did I change? I kind of get him kasi actually when I took my entrance exams for college, I I took the exams sa LaSalle. Like yung Big Four. Essentially the Big Four. And I really felt how behind I am when I was answering the questionnaires. Like, literally. Kasi, all my life, I was a public school student. So, I really felt like I am behind because the questions on those questionnaires are not what you'll encounter when you studied in public schools, right? And the advantage of these people na merong pera para magbayad for education is so much more different. It's really so much more different. Ang layo. When I went still at a public university, a very prestigious one at that, sa PNU, it still felt like I was a little behind. Kasi college was hard and I wasn't really trained for that. Yung culture shock, ramdam mo siya. And then, meron akong mga classmates na nag-aral from actually nice schools na ang culture shock lang nila sa PNU ay projectors, hinihiram. But, the readings, they can do that. Yung mga bagay na skill-wise or yung mga bagay na talagang prepared sila para ma-develop yung intellect nila is actually already there. And I was still catching up. You can catch up, definitely. Di naman namin sinasabi na you're behind or all that. Pero it's just the fact that they are so advanced, correct?
Yeah, I agree.
So advanced, like ibang-iba talaga yung connections na sinasabi namin, like the people you meet along the way and then the people that was given to you. Kasi iba talaga kapag meron kang social circle that could actually give you even just the ideas. It's so different. Kasi when I was still doing Juno, nung ginagawa ko yung Juno, wala akong makausap na pareho ko ng ideas. Wala akong makausap na pareho ko na laging nag-iisip. Wala akong makausap na laging nag-iisip ng ideas for improvement, ideas for the next product, ideas for marketing. Because basically, I was a one-man team. I did not have mentors. So, to be able to have that, yung meron kang push in life, it's such a blessing. Especially if you meet those kinds of people with the same mindset that you do. Ibang-iba talaga siya. Like, ibang-iba. So, on that note, kasi syempre, di ba, parang when you get into the real world, it's much different. Talagang the treatment of corporate companies or just if you are a government employee, especially teachers, ibang-iba siya. Some of us got a taste sa mga internships natin. And there are constant worries. Parang ako talaga ang worry ko when I was still new sa first job ko. Hindi ako tumagal doon kasi I knew that it wasn't the place for me. Ang constant worry ko actually, and it's such a privileged thing to say na ang constant worry ko is I'm not on the right path. Because to be able to think that you know that you have a backup. And at the time, I had my TikTok, I got married na rin. So, Ako, parang me just going out in the world was just me exploring my options. And that job wasn't for me. Ikaw, Beb? Like, ano yung mga, like, worries mo?
About
Yung first job mo. If I'm correct, ang first job mo, like, real job was senior high school?
yeah, like yung official
Like, meron kang
legal,
government
yeah, government
IDs.
registered job, yeah.
Do you have worries? Like, ano yung worry mo dun sa first job mo? Yung fears mo dun sa first job mo?
Probably like the biggest fear I had, like which is also what the reason why I kept studying, even though I was quote unquote making okay money based on the people around me, is that I would get stuck because I don't like the feeling of stagnation, I guess. Just being, somewhere forever, especially if walang growth. So yeah, I just didn't want to work there forever because I felt like a robot and I really wasn't happy with the job or like with myself na anymore.
What was that? What was your first job?
I worked as a call center agent in Rizal for 4 years.
And
Well,
provincial rate too.
no,
No, not
I
really.
don't think that exists when it
It
comes to
does.
like the BPO industry.
Really?
I think the offers would be the same no matter where you are. It would depend on like what specific or like what specific company you work for. Some companies in in the metro area, like Metro Manila, would offer probably like the same amount of salary, like same offer.
Because I heard before when I was trying to apply sa BPO, but everyone was against it, so hindi ko tinuloy, na ang pinakamalaking rate ng mga call center agents ay nasa BGC.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So, meron. Pero, like, outside BGC, pag sabi ti Ortigas na, Mandaluyong na,
I
after
think
Rizal, para-pareho na sila.
I think the difference to say is like the main difference would be the lines of businesses that the call center, the BPO company offers. So I guess some clients would offer them more money, which would allow them to provide a bigger salary for their employees. I think now that I have a better understanding of how businesses work, they were probably like offering better money just to get people with more experience so that they would have like a better quality of work that they can provide to their clients, something like that.
So, that's what's happening here sa BGC.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, you were studying as well,
Yeah.
right? How's that?
It
Kasi
was,
full-time,
yeah,
right?
it was fine. I go to school in the morning, or
Full-time student, full-time employee.
I go to school in the afternoon, and then I go to work at night. Yeah,
How do you sleep?
I sleep sa jeep.
For me, like, it's so funny, this relationship, because for me, I really value sleep. I do. I sleep a
I don't
lot.
like sleeping. I feel like when you sleep, you're wasting time.
You're wasting time, you're wasting money. That's what he always
Yeah,
says.
because you can earn money like while you're working,
Yeah.
while you're awake. So that's why it's really important for people to start their own business, grow the business, automate the business, and then when you make money while you're sleeping, then that's when you start enjoying life.
So that's what he always told me. Dati kasi nung nagkakilala tayo, I still had Juno, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, he would always give me advices on how to do it. But unfortunately, Juno is gone. The baby's gone.
Si Miss Juno.
Si Miss Juno, she's gone. I never imagined that. Kasi parang dati, during the pandemic, ako talaga ito, gusto ko nang umalis. Ayoko na. Like, imagine, alam mo yung waking up, doing your routine, sitting in front of the computer, studying, and then doing reports. Just basically doing that. And then after that, you do shit for the house, you do everything, and then you sleep, and then it's constant. But and none of us, and not every one of us, is blessed with a healthy household. Some of us are stuck or just in places we didn't want to be. And parang ako dati, oh my God, pandemic, hindi ka binibigyan ng baon. Yung ako, ibang-iba kami. Kung ang aking asawa ay working for his money, me, I was still being given my money. Kasi I wanted to work, I really wanted to go to the BPO industry and just take some work kasi a lot of my classmates are doing it and I thought, why not? Makakatulong na rin ako. Bakit hindi? And then talagang hindi kaya. But ikaw, kinaya mo.
Naya is a weird word to use. Kasi wala ka naman choice eh.
Exactly. Not a lot of us have that choice. Is it true na ikaw nagparal sa sarili mo?
Yeah, it is.
Since when?
You could probably say high school.
High school. Of a long time. Meron din ako isang nabasa dito, Beb. Sabi niya, isa sa mga fears niya is I'm not good enough. Kapag sa first job. Did you have that kind of fear?
No.
I did. I think part of the reason why I never taught, never ako nagturo, guys. Isang best lang nung nag-internship ako. That's why my students until now is still so memorable for me. Kasi a lot of them talagang memorable talaga kapag ka first ever time mo nag-teach tapos yung mga students. Hanggang ngayon naalala ko pa kayo. Part of the reason why I never taught, maybe in my mind, what if hindi ko naman pala talaga kaya? Kasi the whole time I was in college, I was just doing what I had to do to graduate. Like literally. Ginagawa ko lang yung part ko para graduate. Yun lang talaga. Kasi it's my duty. As my sister always told me na, trabaho mo yan eh. Mag-aaral ka na lang. Tama naman. Kasi may nagpapaaral eh. 'Di ba? Bakit hindi mo tatapusin? So, tinapos ko. But I was just really there kasi hindi naman ito yung first choice ko talaga of a course. So, feeling ko talaga, hanggang ngayon, I still don't know. Kasi parang ito yung fear na hindi ko naman na-conquer kasi never naman akong turo na eh. Not even ESL. Being that hands-on sa everything ng students, fear ko pa din siya na parang, what if I'm not good enough? I know na I am passionate about teaching, pero what comes after?
Yeah, like when people think about not being good enough, I think the problem usually stems from them comparing themselves to other people. Talaga. Like that's the main issue. And then in a sense, like almost everyone naman has this sense of perfectionism in them, which causes them to doubt themselves, which I think is a really bad habit that people have picking up like over century, like ever since mankind existed.
Ang dami rin kasing people na like, they're so insecure themselves
Mm-hmm.
that they project it. Yung, for example, when I was first year college, sa PNU kasi, general education muna yung first year. Tsaka kayo magme-majorship second year. But there are exams. For example, gusto mo mag-social science like I did.
Mm-hmm.
So, nag-apply ako for social science and I took the exam and the interview. So, merong isang highly coveted course or program sa PNU, which is what we'll call BSMA, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, diretso, 5 years program for psychology students. And 30 students ang kinukuha nila per year. Siguro isa to sa mga pinakamalaking regrets ko in life na sobrang pushover ko. Kasi gustong-gusto ko yung course, but nasa varsity na ako at this time. Isa akong senior na nagsabi sa akin na mahirap. Mahirap eh. Hindi lang pumapasa dyan. Pumili ka na lang ng iba. It took me down the road. Hindi ko siya sinisisi sa choice ko. Kasi choice ko to eh. Choice ko yung naging course ko. At the same time, I loved social science. But still, andun yung lingering thought mo, paano kung tinake ko yung course na yun? Paano kung I went down that road? Paano kung na-reject ako? At least alam ko na-reject ako. Pero hindi, na-reject ko yung sarili ko eh. Na-reject ko yung sarili ko, not even trying the first time.
Don't disqualify yourself. If you're good enough, you're gonna be good enough. But still, you have to try. It's always better to be rejected than to not try. Diba?
Kasi you're just gonna wrap your brain around the thought, what could have happened. I hate that. Ayoko talaga.
And then,
Ayoko
like,
nun.
even if you do get rejected, it's just an opportunity for growth kasi you're gonna reflect on the thing, or in this case, yung course. If you get rejected sa course na ina-applyan mo, you're gonna have the opportunity to reflect on it, understand why you failed, and then just use that learning to be a better student or be a better person. Diba? So
Yeah. Plus, if it's something that you really want, funny, nung nag-work ako dun sa first job ko, schoolmate ko pala yung isa kong katrabaho. Pero first year lang siya sa PNU. Kasi hindi niya nakuha yung course na gusto niya sa PNU. Umalis talaga siyang PNU. And for me kasi, if I didn't pass, it was the end of the road for me. Kasi wala naman akong ibang option of a private school. Hindi kasi pwede. Wala akong option na gano'n. Hindi talaga pwede. I had to stay there, suck it up, and graduate. And parang ang sad lang kasi na-underestimate ko yung sarili ko. Parang na-underestimate ko yung sarili ko na hindi ko man lang tinry yung exam, yung interview. Hindi ko man lang muna yung tinry bago ko na-disqualify yung sarili ko. But then again, itong mga bagay na to, it happens for a reason. Ba't ako nag-social science? I will never know. I loved it anyway. So,
I think another reason why people are afraid of not being good enough is because in our culture sa Philippines, napaka-normal na from an early age. People tell you na, ang galing-galing ng anak ko and stuff like that. And I guess we just start seeking validation from other people, like from a very, very young age, instead of letting your child or your children to think and to decide if they feel like they did great or they did not, diba? Kasi I've seen this a lot of times, like with families of different levels. Very common na you tell your child na they're doing great even if you feel like it's not really the best. So for example, if someone, let's just give an example. If your child comes home with some sort of drawing that was tasked by their teacher or something or someone, and then
assignment.
an assignment or something, and they come home, they show you the assignment, they show you the drawing, and then you tell them, hey, this is so good, this is blah blah blah. Like you just give the child validation right away. I think doing that over the course of their childhood would make them seek validation like very often.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be better to just ask the child what they think about their work, if they're happy about it or if they're not happy
Parenting
about it.
101.
Kasi by doing that, they would know, like they would have they would start thinking if they like what they do or if they love their work.
Are they happy about it?
Are they happy about their work? Instead of just being happy na you like their work. So instead of seeking external validation, there would be some sort of internal validation working inside, So I think that's really important.
So, for the next episode, I hope you guys submit some entries sa aking email or sa aking Instagram. I normally do online polls or online questions sa aking Instagram, so follow me on my Instagram. Thank you so much kay Mr. Bay na kahit busy, ay ginawa ng paraan na mag-guest sa aking podcast. So, for the next episode, I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for watching, Miss Bay, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.